Hi guys, good to be back. Episode 10. It's already getting a long list of episodes happening on our channel. Sorry for being a bit late, but I had some technical difficulties with the voice and everything, but hopefully now everything is fixed. Um, Guys, say hello. You're on the screen right now.
Hello.
All right. Uh, we're just uh, we're just here on another weekly adventure on our channel. Kristian, I see you're having also some technical issues, or you're doing
I'm
something
just
else.
I'm just sharing the link on the
Perfect,
Danish Facebook page.
perfect. Thank you very much, my friend. That's that's what I will be doing myself. Sharing the link of our um, stream. Basically, guys, what I want to talk about with you today is what have you been up with lately? How's the opening of hobby business happening in your countries, and how are you getting along with all that? And also maybe talk a little bit about what I did this weekend, and that is played with our good friend, our good host we had um, 2 episodes ago, Rob. Uh, it was a live stream I've done on the channel. Some people watched it, so some people didn't manage to catch it. If you didn't, it's 3 hour and 45 minutes long, but of course you can just skip it, and maybe from there you'll just get some parts of the stream. Uh, Guys, what have you been up to? I'll start with Lude, maybe.
Yeah, sure. Not not much. Been still super busy with work, but I've been continuing on with the motor half tracks. So I've painted the stowage, the hulls with the modulation, and now I'm starting with the crew. And I hope to be done maybe in a week. I hope I might get some hobby time this weekend, hopefully. And then I could, yeah, get on with weathering and finalizing the models.
Nice. And you, Kristian?
Yes. After I spent all those euros last week, I've started to give my tanks a little break. They are hopefully my Shermans and Crocs will be finished for the tournament coming up in Copenhagen. So because I'm trying a new list with all the carriers and all the Daimler platoons, I am going to assemble them and then do color modulation and then paint the tracks and the wheels, and then they playable, and then give them a varnish, and then afterwards I can continue painting on them because they won't be able to be ready in time. So they're allowed to enter. So that's the plan.
All right. So you're just working on your new list. Will you be sharing it with us? Can you do that, or is it a secret list?
I can give you the ideas of the list, and then I keep it a bit secret. But it's
a carrier list with Churchills.
Yes, with the Aris and the Churchills and some Firefly and Firefly platoon, and then some Achilles, just a regular Sherman platoon with Achilles. Because I found out that the problem with the British lists are that you can't have all the nice stuff that you want if you try to make a list with the infantry or with Sherman tanks. So instead, I'm just having the carrier list as a way to have all the nice stuff, because they all conceal the gun to ground, so it will be very difficult to break my formation, even though they are squishy units, because they are hard to hit. So by making a carrier list, I'll be able to have loads of all the other good stuff that you normally can't take in an infantry list because it's too expensive.
All right. That's a pretty good list. I will re-show you my carrier list, and maybe you'll tell us how you see it tweaked or not. And
I think I will try some. I will, definitely, my plan is in the next weekend to try to get Joe Atkins to work, or Joe Eakins, or what his name is. Joe Atkins, I think.
Yeah, that's actually a list that I showed you guys in the week during the weekend, or I don't know, some days ago. I'm also trying to make an American list with that Joe Atkins hero on the Firefly, and see how it goes. We will share it with you guys here on the stream. I see we have some viewers. Happy about that. Don't forget to engage with us. You can write to us in the chat and ask us questions. Basically, I'll tell you guys a little bit of what happened and what I learned from my game with Rob. Basically, one thing it is that it was a pretty nice and quite enjoyable day, and it was very nice to finally have a game of Flames of War. Even if it was remote and me sitting at the desk and drinking beer, and poor Rob having to move my armies and having to catch all the viewing points I wanted to see and measure. But in the end, we settled with a way of you just move there, and in time, as his Shermans were dying, I was being more exact into what I wanted from him to do with my army. We played Cornered, which is a very very nice mission from my point of view as a defender, because you have immediate reserves. You just have to guard one corner of the table. And also, I agree with you, Kristian. You really need a recon in your defensive armies as well, because
Yes.
a recon there would have I could have been able to place my my infantry platoon on the free or on the maneuvering side of the table, and then he wouldn't have engaged me sideways. I would have just had one line of defense, and that was it. Basically, the whole game was very nice, and it was pretty enjoyable, and we had a lot of time, a lot of good time. I'm sorry that he lost, actually, because he was very nice and he was really trying, but I guess just my dices were really good, and those tigers were really bad. Also, he had a very hard time with hi, Patrick. It was good,
Hey, Patrick.
just warming up, yes. And basically, what was the fun part was that my Stummels did so much damage to his Shermans. Even though he had a 3-up save, he just rolled 1s and 2s, and then my Stummels did their job. Also, I think the mobility and the amount of Sedekafezi I had, so the small transport vehicles on the table, just bulletproofs you from any infantry attacks. I know it wasn't his list was not in the meta for what we're playing in tournaments and things like that, but it was not to say so it was a good list. He had two formations, one of Shermans and one of um, rifles. He had some downgrade for the Shermans with the reluctant motivation, and for the rifles he had Third Army, Monty's Army, something like that card that they rally on a 4+. And the thing I was most afraid of were actually his carriers, his SMG carriers, which were pretty powerful. And then I just analyzed the game, and then I came up with some lists that I will share with you guys, and maybe you guys tell me how do you see them. Hello, Soren. Good to have you with us. Basically, the game went pretty straightforward from turn 1, let's say, when I popped up my my ambush, and three of his Shermans were already dead, and then everything was like easy from that point. Although he had a very good rolling for last stands, his Crusader AA didn't leave the table for like 3 or 4 turns. He kept rolling the 5. Yeah, I was like, come on, you need to be like at a point roll something less than 5. But then the game was pretty nice, and I want to play with you guys if you agree. More of this kind of remote games. Rob is hosting games actually for his friends, so 2 of his friends are playing with him, and they are playing against each other, but he's moving the armies on the table and all that thing. And,
that's cool.
Yeah, he's a pretty cool guy, and he's like very involved into the community activity, and I like what he's doing, and I'm pretty sure that he'll be a good player at a point when he will start going to tournaments and be more into fine-tuning his lists and his game style.
Competitive play, and
Yes. What I could say is that I want to play with you guys if you agree, and maybe we can just arrange a weekend game from a game club, mine or yours. I can be Rob this time. I can move your armies also, and see how it goes from there. I mean, at least until we have a full competitional Europe to play against each other all over Europe. I don't know how things are in your countries, but here in Romania, things are like still not opening. Still, we have just three countries where we can go without having to be getting to quarantine when we come back. It's difficult still.
But I'm really looking forward to the tournament. Our club was limited to 10 people, but now the amount of people allowed to be gathered is turned up to 50.
Nice.
So now our club can have open, because at no point during opening hours there are more 50 people. So people can just join now. And if you want to play Flames of War game and there's a table free on a 40k day, you can play Flames of War. So that's really nice. And then I'm really looking forward to the tournament.
I think he froze.
Yep, something happened.
Copenhagen, and see the guys there, because
Kristian, it's something with your connection that's not working properly. Is it maybe because you're using your phone right now? Yeah, looks like the wireless with Kristian got a bit.
Is it better now?
It's okay-ish, but you have some interruptions when you talk.
Yeah.
So basically, you're using your phone, right?
Yeah, I think I don't know if it's. Give me a second. I could use the computer, but it should work.
It was much better with the computer.
Yeah,
of a network issue.
Yeah, are you using your wireless or just
I using the wireless. I can just. Am I still being cut
stuttery?
Ah, you can.
off?
Yeah, a little.
Okay. Is it better now, or should I just get my computer? Because normally I use the computer, but after Ludde has been using his phone, I thought, maybe I could do that as well.
Yeah, it's okay when you talk like longer sentences. It tends to interrupt at a point. So I don't know
Okay.
why. What's
You know
the
what? I'll just go get my
right?
laptop up, and then I'll be back in 2 minutes.
Perfect.
Okay.
No problem. No problem. I'll be chatting with Lud and ask him how is your painting? What are you working on there?
Right now, I don't think you'll be able to see this. Hold on. No, too dark. Hold on.
No,
Let's
no,
see
I
if
can
I
see
can.
some faces.
Uh, I can try it better like this, maybe. Yeah. Drivers for the half tracks. Nothing
Nice.
special.
So half tracks, US half tracks or British half tracks?
Yes. US. So I've got the. I'm continuing with the same theme I had in Belgium.
Yes.
The mortar half track. So the interior resin piece.
Yes.
Quite like the idea that you have like the plastic hull, and
Yeah.
then depending on what you use it for, you just throw in quite nicely sculpted resin piece.
Yeah.
And then
I
I've
myself
added
should
some
get something like that.
stowage. I've added some stowage to the half tracks, and with the bright red air recognition tarps. It's not much yet, but it's going to look a lot better when I get some weathering done. Throw in some oils, pin washing, chipping. It's gonna look good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you talking about opening. It's cool, Patrick, to hear that you guys are opening as well. Uh, it's almost back to normal in Finland. Okay, there's still limits on gatherings, but I think it's like 50 plus right now. We can travel to most Nordic countries and the Baltic countries. Sweden is the only one that is not let in, or they will really ask
Can
you,
you go
do
to
you really
Russia?
want to go there?
Yeah. Can you go to Russia?
No, the border with Russia is still closed. I think it's due to their issues as well regarding the pandemic. But yeah, otherwise it's pretty much getting back to normal. So there's we've had some bigger events at my local gaming club. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to attend. Been super busy with work. Hopefully, it should calm down this week. I've actually got a pretty heavy deadline tomorrow,
Hmm.
so
So this weekend you're going to
getting
play.
up early. I'm not sure if I'll be playing since it's we have this old so-called pagan thing called the Midsummer Festival
Yeah. Yeah.
in Finland. So it's like you could say like a summer version for Christmas without presents.
All right.
So good food, taking it easy,
Yeah.
and a lot of people start their holidays from this like their
This moment.
summer holidays from this like public holiday.
Hmm.
So most likely just going to take it easy, do something nice with the girlfriend,
Barbecue and stuff.
maybe get yeah. Unfortunately, we can't do a barbecue. Don't have one.
Oh.
And the balcony for now in this flat I'm streaming from is about the size of my table right now. But in 6 months it'll be the size of a of an actual let's say small living room.
Nice. So
So
you'll be
waiting for that.
You'll be streaming
Oh,
from your terrace.
or my office
Office
management
manager.
office.
Nice, nice. Yeah, looking forward to that.
But yeah, oh yeah, me too. But yeah, I think I'm just gonna take it easy. The project I've been working on has been stressing me out quite a bit, and to be honest, I'm quite tired after it.
Hmm.
So I think I'm just gonna need this weekend to just be zen.
To relax.
Do yeah. Um, I think games will be a thing for next week. It's going to calm down at the office as well, since most people are starting their holidays. I saved mine for August,
Hmm.
so it's going to be more quiet at the office. I can
You can squeeze in a game
do
between duties.
yeah, yeah. It's going to be a lot easier.
Exactly. Now we have Christian, and he can hear us. We can see him, and
Yeah.
he's not stuttering anymore.
Yeah,
That's
the connection is a lot better. You must have a dead angle in that part of your room or something.
Yeah, maybe the Wi-Fi right
Yeah.
there is.
is
Uh,
is your laptop connected by wire or Wi-Fi?
Wi-Fi.
All right. So yeah, it should. You never know.
But as I was trying to say before, is that I'm really looking forward to the tournament to test out some new things, because in Denmark we are an island nation, so it's connected with bridges, and all of the bridges are free to drive across, except one, the largest one, called Storebælt, which is the bridge connecting Fyn with the Sealand.
all right.
And it's very expensive to drive across. It's 25 quid
All right.
per trip, so 50 quid back and forth plus gas. And if you're attending a tournament costing 10 quid, it's
But you should go
quite
together.
expensive.
You should go together with some other guys, I think.
Yeah. We are also going a bunch of guys to the tournament, but then it's 350 kilometers drive, and it starts at 9 o'clock. So we have to get up like at 6 and drive. So we have arranged some accommodation as well in Copenhagen, at some friends' house, because it's expensive for one tournament. But the guys in Copenhagen really provide a nice venue, and it's food included and everything. So I think it's actually 15 quid for 15 pounds for the entire tournament with meal and.
Yeah, that's not bad. I think that's not bad.
Oh no, but then you can obviously buy sodas and coffee and stuff like that. Beer for I don't know, €2 a piece or €1 a piece or something for sodas. So it's okay.
All right, guys. Let's see. I see that. Yeah, we see Scott is like, what the hell is 25 quid for passing a bridge? Yeah, it's a lot of money.
Yeah, I don't think we're talking pound sterling here. We're talking Danish kroners.
No. It's 200. It's 250 kroner. So let me just check how much it is in euros. I think it's easier for everyone.
€5.
No. No. It's 34 euros.
34
per
euros
per trip. Yeah.
So not 25 euros, 34 euros. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a lot for crossing a bridge.
So
I'll be
it's
swimming
around,
that.
Yeah. So it's like 66 euros for going back and forth on one day.
You should really have a reason to go there, I think.
Yeah, and then but if you sometimes they have some discount if you drive across during a weekend, you can get it for how much is it? Then it's 26 euros.
Okay.
Yeah.
So still 50 euros just for crossing the bridge that is 3 kilometers wide. It was actually because when it was built,
Yeah.
the government paid in advance, and then they wanted the taxpayers to pay back for the bridge, which is obviously okay. And then it was supposed to get free to cross it at some point because Denmark is connected with a lot of bridges. But they found out that it was a nice income
to have
for the treasury, so
they kept it like that.
They kept it like that, yeah. So that's actually annoying when you want to go to tournaments across Denmark, because it's expensive for one guy to fill up a tank of gas to ride 350 kilometers plus crossing the bridge for a tournament that's worth, I don't know, 15 euros to participate in.
I think it's cheaper to fly, isn't it?
Sometimes.
I mean, if you're just going by yourself, I think it's cheaper because, for example, we have airplane tickets here in Romania starting from 50 euros, you know, the whole trip, you know, return. And that's
cheap.
Yeah, that's really cheap, and there's no point using your car.
No. But but we are gonna go. It's 3 guys from the ATC team are coming with me to Copenhagen, and then one of the guys from the team, he lives in Copenhagen, so his son just graduated high school, so they are having a celebration, a party for him, so he can't participate, but he'll stop by during the day and grab a beer and chat with us and see how we're doing.
Pretty cool. Good job, my friend. Good job. So not this weekend, next weekend, right?
Yeah, on the 27th of June we're gonna play.
Nice.
And I'll just check how many people is actually attending.
I'll be waiting for a live stream from you.
I'll probably do.
At least a short, brief introduction about how are things developing there and what are you guys playing and all that. All right, so let's just jump into list building. What do you say?
Yes.
Are you guys in with me?
Yeah.
Yep.
So let's just check first what's been up with Flames of War website. We still have Pete and Chris Q&A, and we have World War III American are now live, and a bunch of other articles. Haven't seen anything updated, but we're still waiting on a few things. I also bought some new toys, but you guys will see and you'll know about them when I'll get them, and I'll tell you about it. Yeah, that's about it. I haven't seen much action from these guys. I was waiting for that lessons from the front, but it didn't came yet. I mean, Pete said that he has it on his desk to have it revised and signed, and maybe they just wanted to talk about other new things people pointed out. All right, so I will be jumping into Flames of Forces, and from here we can just go and see what we're going to talk about today. I want to show you guys 3 things that I thought about, and I want to ask you your opinion regarding this. Basically, I tried to make carrier lists for both American, German, and British, because these are the only D-Day books we have at the moment, and we don't have anything with from the Soviets, but I'm sure we will get some BA-10s lists also. I have this list. The first list I showed you guys, the Rekia Squadron, which I just updated. I moved a little bit from the Universal Carrier Patrol because I just realized they're actually worse in what I was planning to use them for, and that is assaulting and the Daimler Armor Car Troop. Although it has a smaller smaller tactical movement, they can hit on 4+, and they also fight back and stay on a 5+ in combat, compared to the Universal Carriers, which stay on a 6+ and hit on a 5+.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
and I just went for another Daimler armored troop platoon, and the same motor with the half trucks, the transport. And if you're taking these motor guys, Kristian, I really encourage you to take the half truck transport card, because it gives them a kind of protection I think they will need. If
The mortars?
No, for the motor platoons.
Oh,
So
but
the
I'm
infantry.
gonna use a para platoon instead.
Paraplatoon. Yeah, I was thinking about that, and I have a list about with that also. But this is I was more concentrated into getting the juicy stuff into the support, and that is I have Alvarez, Achilles, Typhoon, Churchill, and veteran American 76 Shermans. I think you changed the Shermans for British Shermans with Joe Akins, and probably you didn't take the flight and you took something else.
I have in my list. I'll just go through it. What I've changed. Just keep the list up, Gio, and then I'll just find it here for a second. Then I'll tell you what my idea is like. Because mine is a bit different from yours, because I don't. It's just a way of playing or play style, but simply I don't believe in the plane. I don't believe in it at all.
Yeah, neither do I.
It's nice and it looks cool and it's fancy, and you cheer when you shoot down a heavy tank or just a tank in general with your plane. But it's not like in the old days. So I will not using that. Let me see.
So for this Typhoon, probably you could take the Paras instead of the motor platoon, or even take the Paras as an extra infantry platoon.
Yeah, my list is like this. I can share it if you like it. But in my information, I have obviously a company commander is Daimler, and then I have 2 platoons of Daimlers with little gun adapters on both.
All right.
Because I have been firing at half tracks, and at long range they have good chances of bouncing off the shots. So if you have 88,
they have no chance.
Then they have no chance. Will at least be bailed.
Yes.
Hopefully, and then they can't bounce on a 6 though, but still. It's better. And then I bought some mortars in the platoon, in the formation instead. And then I have 3 carrier patrols with 50 cals on them. And then in as support, I have crocodiles, just because that's my gimmick unit. In any day, I would buy, I think, some more Shermans, for instance.
Mm-hmm.
But now it's just for trying it out. So I have crocodiles, 2 of them. Just because I think 3 is too expensive with the fact that they can capture an objective. So I just want them to be a harassing unit, and if he uses all his energy on firing on something that can capture an objective, fine by me. I have front number 13. And then I have 2 petard mortars platoons as well. 4 Achilles, obviously, the go-to. And then a big parachute platoon with an additional Piat. And then a Sherman with a Firefly and Joe Atkins and Joe Ekins, I think his name is. Yeah, Joe Ekins.
Yeah, we're butchering names here.
Butchering his name, Joe Ekins. But I just want them to be able to move across the table, and then if they get out, they need to be able to. Let's say you have a motor platoon. Yeah, you buy a transport for them, but if you hit a vehicle and they bust out and save, then they are pinned for the rest of the game if you're not lucky. So I'd rather take my chances of losing some teams across the table, and then they'll be able to go forward and attack something and not be pinned. So that's my list. And then in a more competitive manner, I don't think I will bring the crocodiles. I will try and get some more anti-tank or some more indirect fire, for instance. Maybe gun up my mortars to
then 4.2 inch.
6 stands, and then give them 4.2. But now I'm just trying out the crocodiles for fun. So that's the list I'm coming with in
So 2 crocodiles, not 3.
Not 3. I would never buy 3 because I think it's too expensive. 21 points. That's almost 2 tigers that can't capture anything. Yeah, they can drive up and flame and blah, blah, blah. But again, they hit on 6s on veteran infantry. So when you hit them, and if you do, as a good German should do, interlock your platoons, they might have 4 teams in their side, but they can only shoot 6 shots on those 2 guys and 6 shots on those 2 guys. So I would rather have a template that can hit everything and punish them that way. But it's just because the crocs are cool and I like to flame people to death. And actually the crocodile, just for the historical note here, is that it could actually shoot 150 meters with its flamethrower. So
Right.
try and walk 150 paces. That's quite far actually.
It is indeed. Well, I
Especially
didn't do that. 150 meters.
Yeah.
For a flamethrower, that is really far.
Yeah, and think about it. The compression that's inside those tubes, the amount of force it's being pushed out with. So you can imagine that's a good idea to have a trailer when you have such high of a bar pressure inside. There's some videos on YouTube of, I think I'll share it if I can find it, of some crocodiles actually firing across a lake on a bunker on the opposite side. Let me see if I can find
it. That's a pretty impressive range on a normal crocodile. We still have 6 inches in the game, so...
Yeah, but in real life, 150 meters, that's awesome.
Yeah, indeed it is. What can I say? I think Joe Akins would really shine, and actually this was something I thought about. Basically, you'll play this Wreck Squadron using which stance? Assault, attack, or maneuver?
At a tournament like that, I will go for attack each time.
Attack. All right.
Yeah, attack. And if I defend, I can have my entire formation on the board. It's only 21 points. And they can just stay concealed, gun to ground. So the tanks will have to shoot me out. They can't assault me. And then the infantry, if the infantry try and come, I will just hose them down,
Yeah, exactly.
And then obviously I will be aggressive with the rest of my force. I will not just sit idle, and I will try and do a defense in depth, go forward and make him have to deal with those before he reaches my objective. So
exactly. All right. So carriers, I think I will use as a attack also, but sometimes I will also think about maneuver. A maneuver option if I will be playing against an infantry formation, because I would expect them to either use defense, and defense with maneuver gives you quite nice combination of scenarios you could have.
Yeah.
And they could make the defensive force to have to move towards objectives, and then your carriers will do a lot of damage on those infantry. Otherwise,
But Theo, it depends on one of the guys from the Danish ETC team. He has made a matrix in Excel, Office Excel, and if you want to take your gaming to the next level, obviously you should think about maneuver or attack or defense, but you should also take the table into consideration.
Exactly.
Some tables will punish you if you play, let's say, a maneuver with you defending. So if you really want to, again, the more you can prepare prior to gaming, the better, because that's a factor where you can actually have the full say. Of course, you have to roll still to see if the attacker or the defender, but an awful table can really screw you over in certain missions. Let's say you play counter-attack and you have to cross, I don't know how many
open
lines
areas,
of trees, open areas, or tree lines and such where you can get bogged down or can't cross and stuff like that. So yeah, you have to take the table into consideration when you pick your stance.
Yes, but usually when you're building your list, you're just having in mind what I'm going to use as reserves, what I'm going to use as uh, my core units and do the core job. For example, as you said, as you pointed out, these carriers, these little bastards are really annoying in defense. Not good in defense, but annoying because the your opponent will have to fight them off objectives and actually shoot them because infantry he will have hell time getting his infantry close to your objectives, and only his tanks will be able to get there, and then they will just have to sit there and fire and be stationary, and then your Shermans could work on them, or your maybe bigger guns on the Achilles. Actually, what I think key platoon in this force is actually our sorry not is are the Achilles, because that 17 pounder gun needs to fire shots at your enemy, and
Yeah.
you have to position. I mean, okay, Shermans are okay, are good, but you could have a hard time getting through Tigers or other Churchills or stuff like that.
But let's say I'm playing against an ARP platoon or something like that. I would start with my Crocs on the table, and I don't care about losing 14 points worth of Crocs. I will just go forward with them, shoot up his carriers, and then flame him, and then have him assault me, and then I'll pull back and do the same thing all over, and then all of a sudden my reserves will start to get there, and the time is ticking. He needs to have me off.
So you want to have your pony platoon the flamethrowers, the crocodiles. Nice, nice.
I would start with them on the table.
I'm looking forward to your live battle reports from from the tournament.
But think about it like this, Gio. If let's say I start with my Crocs in reserve,
yes,
they come on the table,
yes,
and let's say he's really pressuring me on an objective. That's fine. I can maybe shoot him, but I can't contest my own objective with my tanks. So I have to use them offensively. So in a defensive scenario, I would go forward with my Crocs any day.
Exactly.
And I would start with them on the table.
You need to get them as close as possible to enemy guns, to enemy infantry. That's the first thing I will do with my Shermans, as with my crocodiles also. I will show you guys something that I wanted to make as a similarity in a German arsenal, and it's actually a list that I will probably play both maneuver and defensive. I don't think I will play as an attacking force, but still. Basically, it's comprised of a half-track scout company with the 250 ZKFZ, because I think they are much better than the Pumas in the fact that they are 3 in a platoon and not 2. Although they lack the anti-tank, they will really make up in numbers. I mean, Pumas are glass cannons anyway, so basically, why not have more vehicles than just two, just one. Actually, your enemy just has to kill one of your, or bail one of your Pumas, and that's it. So the core thing is, I will be short of my carrier options, where I have like. So I have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 platoons in my core formation. Here I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I'm just short one platoon. But with Germans, that could be better in a way that I have a reconnaissance platoon also between this. Scout troops and between the 7.5 centimeter guns. I have a reconnaissance platoon, which would be, I think, the pony of this list, because they will be either the firemen who will come to extinguish an enemy attack, or they will just go for the enemy objective. after this, I had my intention to use 2 tigers and 4 panzers in support, and then I was just having enough points to have a west. But then I thought about it and said, can I bring more firepower to the game? And what happened? I chose to pack 2 platoons of 8.8 tank hunter platoons, those 8017 things that are really a beast. I have a list where I managed to get a pack front as well in this combination, but I like this more. I mean, I took one of the gun platoons in the scout company, so one of the core platoons. I took out the 7.5 gun platoon, and I got there the pack front. But then a pack front for just 3 guns, I don't think it's worth that much, because if you have 4 guns and you can use the pack front with them, I think that's very good, because it's a 2-point upgrade for every gun. With almost 3 points upgrade, I think it's already a bit too much. And I see
But
this.
Theo,
Yes.
Theo, is this the list you used against Rob?
No. I use an armored Panzer Grenadier with a 9th
Okay.
rebuilding card. This list is actually something that I wanted to create similar to what with the carrier list look like. And in points,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
and in points wise, it's quite there. I only lack I have higher anti-tank, but I like the mobility because they are fixed cannons. And other than that, I have better artillery, and also I'm lacking a little bit in support tanks, with my Panzer force being only 4, and there I'm having Churchills and US Shermans. So basically, this list is much more powerful against like an IS-2 list, for example, or could do more damage, significantly more damage to an IS-2 list than the British counterpart. But this list, I think, could do quite good against the US list, attacking list, or maybe also against the British list, like Churchill's or stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think it will struggle against Sherman list, but against Churchill lists, I think they could really do some damage. I mean, I have 12 shots of 1817, and they would really do some hard hitting. I also have a tank hunter card upgrade, which gives me, for one of my tank hunter platoon, gives me artillery. So yeah, that's about it.
What we really could push this list, or I think it's a really nice list, Theo, and I like the way you thought it through. But I think a list that could really counter this would be, let's say, American Security Force list with lots of cars, M10, and then a hell of a lot of what is called the priests.
Artillery.
With time on target. Yeah, time on target could really punish all the 88s.
Exactly.
But against the British list, where artillery no longer is a thing.
Yeah, it's scarce and it's very expensive.
So this could be a good list against heavy tanks of all sorts, and then also like a British infantry list.
Exactly.
But if I played against you with infantry, I would definitely defend.
Exactly.
What
do you say, Ludde? We kind of neglected you there.
No worries. I was listening. I mean, it would be a pain to model, but yeah, I mean, it could really work. It could really work.
I mean,
I'm kind of tempted. I'm kind of tempted to try it out with someone else's models.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good idea, and that's a good thing you can do. And I also want to try it out and see how it goes.
But I think money wise, it's an expensive list.
It is a very expensive list because those
Yeah,
scout
but
troops are
it
very
doesn't
expensive.
count as it doesn't count as a hobby worthwhile if it doesn't take all your money and free time. So
Exactly.
Pay to win. Pay to win.
It's a pay-to-win list, exactly.
Yeah.
What I will try to do now is build with you guys something similar for the American list. Unfortunately, what the biggest problem is with the cavalry troop, recon troop command card is the fact that you will have to get two unarmored vehicles um, in your platoons, and that really takes them down. But I think we're used already to having the US list being less competitive than the other nations' lists.
yeah, and I mean, uh, how how many annoying 60 mil mortars can you get for so little points?
Yes, I tend to agree with you, but still, they are you can shoot them down with
Yeah,
SMGs.
you can shoot them down, but as soon as let's your opponent tries to do something funny with their infantry and they're not dug in anymore,
Yeah.
it's adios.
So
It's just the mortar in itself. 1 point for a template. Yeah, you have to re-roll and so on and so forth. But still,
It's a
1 point for a template.
I still
That's
I still
massive.
I still think it will be really hard for it to hit any veteran forces. So I
I
don't know
mean,
what to
yeah,
say.
but as the the role for the artillery in my point is first to pin and then maybe cause some casualties.
Exactly.
Depends. With the Americans, you still have like you're hoping for that
But
kill.
let's say you're shooting against a pack nest or different guns, pack 40s, pack 43s, and stuff like that. It's brilliant. 1 point worth just sitting there bombarding each turn, and in the end, you will kill him.
Yeah,
Yeah, you can say that.
you put the small thing behind a hill or behind a wood, and nobody will ever. I mean, it's not worth coming after, but you can't really ignore it either because at some point it will do its job.
It will be in your
Yes.
face,
So
exactly.
it will again tie your resources while you bombarding that pack front or something. Uh, you can go and do your own cool things. I
Exactly,
don't know
but
what you planned, but
the only thing that I'm afraid of is the fact that these guys will be. I mean, when your enemy will feel your his army getting thinner, he will not keep his infantry under your templates. I think he will just move them and try to machine gun your uh, your uh, your unarmored jeeps, and I sure like they die very fast.
yeah,
I
but I
think
mean
it's
that's the magic with them. You have so many of them.
Not so many. They're five. So one, two, three, four, five, and I'm lacking infantry.
I hope
Yeah, but
that
that's five templates,
But still, I have.
and we get back to the point that as soon as your opponent jumps out of his foxholes, he can't. He it's. I mean, then
and
the
and
60 mil is effective because the firepower sucks on it. Yes,
I don't
Yeah.
know.
but
I can't remember. Does it have smoke?
No, they don't.
they don't.
Otherwise, they would have been like so powerful and so good.
Yeah, if you could just smoke with templates all over for 5 points.
Exactly. For yeah, it would have been nice, but still they don't. So, um, yeah, they is just normal 32 inches of artillery. So basically, an infantry will take 2 turns for him to get to shoot you. So basically, jump out of their foxholes, move 10 inches, and then the next turn they will be able to get your jeeps unless they relocate. I think I will not take this Stewart platoon here because it's 10 points, and 10 points I will be using to get myself an allied platoon in the shape of paratroopers.
FFI?
No,
You don't
no,
want FTPs?
no, just the 7 parachute platoon, British parachute platoon. It's more than enough to
Yeah.
to harass your enemy with. So
But the thing is, just thinking if you bought them, let's say you're defending, I'm just throwing up a ball here, but
if
let's
you're
say you are defending, you can start with the entire infantry for free on the table. I think that's worth something. It depends on what your tactic is, whether you want to attack or defend or maneuver. But
so with this list, I will definitely always choose attack.
yeah.
Because you cannot defend with soft targets. So these targets are like so easy to kill. You'll have to get everybody in a field, cornfield. You'll have to get everybody in a forest. You'll have to get everybody in some sort of cover, because otherwise they will just die instantly from machine guns. And for instance, these jeeps make worth of using the 50 cal on the Thunderbolt airplane. So I would take the airplane from the Americans just to shoot down these jeeps. Basically, this is a list that I will use for as just to attack with. It has three big templates, an M12 template and 2 priest templates, and that will be pretty impressive against their counterparts. So basically, this if you play this list against one of the German lists I created earlier, or against the carrier list, against carrier list not so much, because they have the Churchills, and we all know how hard it is for the 8012 to penetrate those Churchills. But against other like recon troops playing as an attacker, you'll really have a good time. And also you could have you have something to do with those mortars, and as Lud said, they could really go to town and work upon those guns. And especially, for example, many people I see downgrading their guns for the German player, or taking the Beach Boys as their core formation. And when you hit on 3+, okay, I would always take my chances with the reroll on a 3+. On a 4+ with reroll, usually it's a miss, but with the 3+ reroll, I will always take it, because 1 in 3 I will always have a. So if I have 3 targets under the template, I'm sure that I will hit 1 at least. So yeah, that's good. It's a good chance for me.
Yeah. You could try and switch out the M10s.
Yes.
Or a Sherman Firefly platoon with Joe Atkins. Because you have a lot of 8012 already, so you need something like to take out Churchills with.
Yes, but I agree with you, and just to have, so it will be 17 points to have. So I will not be able to get the parachute platoon, but probably I will be able to get something in return or in place of that.
Yeah, you could buy like. Can you get it like a? Let me think. What is the small parachute platoon worth? I can't remember what it's called.
8 points.
8 points. Yeah.
But I
go for that.
Yeah, I think I will go actually for something else. I will show you in a minute, because I have to go from the US arsenal now, because I'm taking the Sherman as my allied platoon, and with the ATC rules we all know that you cannot go too crazy. And just to take this small Firefly,
you can only have one allied platoon, yeah.
And then take the card, Joe Akins card. And what Joe Akins does is incredible. It allows you to reroll all your misses on the Firefly, and basically what I will do is keep this Firefly in one place and just take my chances with the 6s.
And you don't get.
And you don't get, yes, you don't get the increase in armor for being over 16 inches, and that's massive. I agree with you. And now let's see if we can do something else. I see that I'm only lacking 7 points. I think I'll just scrap on one of my priests.
But I was wondering.
I still don't have infantry, and that will.
We'll need infantry, yeah. Let's see if we can.
We need infantry in this. We have 17 points. 17 points, I think, could buy me a veteran armor rifle platoon, or even better than that, I could get parachute rifle platoon, which is, oh my god, 14 points. 14 points, and they do exactly the same as a parachute British platoon. So sad.
Yeah.
So sad. Okay, they have one mortar, but still. Yeah. Full parachute rifle platoon with 2 LMGs, 2 bazookas, 1 mortar, 7 stands, 7 grandstands. That makes for some serious infantry and really good defensive force. The only problem I would have, well, actually it's not a problem and could be quite good. Oh, I also have the Scots in as artillery.
Yes. The guys are asking if they can have a fan submission. They have an idea. What is your suggestion, guys? How should we twist the list?
Yeah, all right. I see a rifle platoon with tough hombres. Yeah, tell us. Yes, I agree with you. It's a good idea. So I will take a normal rifle platoons. You're saying, because I think the tough hombres thing. Or you're not talking about the Santa Fe? TD Company and Cav Recon. Alright, we can try that. Rifle platoon with hombres. Tough hombres. Which are those tough hombres? Yeah. Reluctant. Why would I do that? Yeah, I see your point. They're very, very cheap. But reluctant, no.
Chris,
okay,
Scott, to you too. Yeah, got it.
Yeah. I got it.
Alright. So basically, full parachute platoon will get us the points for everything we need. But also, I will go for a veteran rifle platoon. These guys, and that will leave me 3 more points, and no, 2 more points actually. And for 2 points, what can you get for 2 points as an American player? Suggestions?
I always love the lucky card. So you could do the thing where you let's ambush and shoot with the M12s, but it's just me.
All right. So let's see. What is it? Lucky card. And still 1 point there to spend on something. I think this was for veteran rifle. No, I think there's a card for the armored guys also, but I don't remember which one was it. Can you use tank telephones?
I don't think they're useful for you in this case.
Let's use tank telephones. Sounds good. Having one of your infantry leaders close to your Sherman tanks will make those tanks reroll infantry or guns. Uh,
One.
one. Yeah.
One failed.
Yeah, let's skip that because our Shermans are shooting non-HE shells, so not something good. I see list submission from Scott. 1 second, Scott. I will look into your list. Demolition specialists. No, I can use only on rifle. Oh my god. Tell me, guys, what can I do for 1 point?
I'm not French resistance rate. Is that where they have to re-roll their reserves?
Yes, and it's 2 points.
What about sticky bombs?
Sticky bombs. Sticky bombs, I think I can only do on the parachutes. Yes. So I can do all tanks in this unit cross on a 2+. I can do calling hedge cutters on my M4 Shermans. Yeah, that's good.
You could do that. Yeah. Otherwise, you should perhaps get the FI platoon and pump it up.
Yes, no. All right, so this is how the list will look. I think it's quite good from the fact that you have these veteran armor rifle platoons, although not my favorite platoon anymore, but they used to be very, very good in the game. Now they are iffies. Let's see what you guys send me, and let's see what we have here. Where is it? Chat. All right.
Just to get rid of the tank telephones and put in an FFI raid.
Yes, I know that's something that
actually work.
I know that's something that you would definitely like. From what I know you, and what I know you like.
No, the FFI raid. That's a different one.
So
just download the picture to you and then share the screen.
Yes. Just a second. Should be the last image. Whoa, very small. Not too many things that I can understand. They have a parachute platoon with additional Piat. Okay, M3s. They have Scots, and then the M. All right. Okay. Now I will make it, Scott. I will make it in my builder because your picture it will not show too fancy. Lucky and hedge cutters. Yes, Lucky and hedge cutters. They're very good. Why not? I like my 2+ cross for my Shermans.
The thing is that the reason why I want to put Lucky in the force is that, let's say you're defending in some scenario, and then you want to ambush with your M12s, but you cannot ambush on, let's say, long range. So you pop them on long range, and then you use blitz to try and get in on close range. And if it fails, you re-roll it, which improves your chances a lot because they are skill 3+, you know. So you'll definitely almost get it, and then you'll be on short range and hit him on, let's say, 3s and 4s instead of 5s. So that's what I would use it for, or at least have it. Let's say you penetrate something like a Tiger with your anti-tank 12, and you fail. You almost get it. 25% chance of missing, I think.
I also have
when you have Lucky.
So
2 times 3+ is 25% chance of failing. So 75% chance of success. I'll take that any day.
Let me check if I have somebody somewhere here. Nope, I don't see it. I will just take it, create a new one, and see how it goes from there. Yeah, Kristian.
Let's see if I share my screen. It works, perhaps. I can try.
I don't think, because the quality is very. I mean, the picture is very small, so I will just. It will take me 1 second
Okay.
to just go over. Scott, how many core platoons of cavalry recon you had? They are Tizzle. Tizzle. Is it Tizzle, or how do you pronounce your nick? The M12s. That's how you should play them. Just pop the ambush, blitz them, and get everything out of the way. And then you have, how many Scots you have in your formation? 4? 5 Scots. All right.
Have you guys ever had the moment when you realize that you've bought the wrong paints? The one that you have in your hands is completely useless to you?
I had this problem with some models I bought, and I realized they're not they're not what I expected them to be. What happened? What did you buy and it's not what it is?
I wanted to try this the green camo wash from Citadel, and apparently I've taken Bieltan green,
But that's a
which is
glaze.
a super. Yeah, it's a shade color, it says,
Okay.
but it's like this super bright green.
I thought it used to be a
It's like
glaze.
candy green. It
Yeah.
has nothing to do with camo.
Yeah, you need the camo shade. Yeah. What
Yeah,
it's called, Catonian camo shade or
yeah,
something.
yeah. And I'm pretty sure I actually took it from that part of the rack, but it must have had the wrong bottle in it.
You should
Oh well.
get some glasses. You're getting old, buddy.
Actually,
You're
I
getting
have
old.
It's
glasses.
okay. It's okay. It's just a
I'm
handicap.
just too lazy to use them.
All right. So
Right
Scott,
now, they're actually at my office.
parachute platoon. All right. I've seen a Piat, an extra Piat over there. Yeah, 11 points. And then one point. What did you use it for, Scott? Lucky?
It was the FFI raid.
No. He said lucky.
Oh, lucky.
The FFI raid is French resistant raid. This one is 2 points.
Yeah.
So lucky for 1 point. All right. Now we have our first viewers list submitted to us.
Yeah.
This is very good. Thank you, Scott.
It's actually something we could look into. Take like lists from viewers and like go through them.
And then trust them. I mean, I really would like to tell you, Scott, what is good with this list and what is not good with this list. First of all, I would like you, Scott, to tell us, how would you use this list? Would you use it with which stand? Maneuver, defense, or attack? Scott is not with us anymore.
He's coming. Maneuver or attack, it says.
Maneuver or attack. All right. And how do you plan just to use your parachute guys and bombardment, I think, to dislodge mass of Beach Boys infantry, I guess, right? Or some rifle platoons, or Desert Reds infantry, or Stelkovi, or how are they called? Those Russian things with 20 plus bases.
Can you scroll up a bit, so we can see?
Yes. So we have one big template. I mean, we have 3 big templates, 2 3 plus templates, 1 4 plus template with reroll, which is very nice and very good. And for 4 points, I definitely agree with you. Yeah, it has 7 templates. But still, I'm talking about real templates. And I would actually say that as a core formation, the M10 Tank Destroyer Company, it will be your formation to go to resist on the table, although they will get involved into serious shooting with the enemy's tanks. They have a larger survivability rate because of the fact that they have 2 armored vehicles instead of 1 compared to the cavalry recon patrol, and that will make them much more resistant. And I think you have 6, and this is also 6, so basically you have 12. Your enemy will have to kill 10 of your core platoons to get you off the table. The only thing that I think I will need, and that's only because this is how I like to play my Flames of War games, I like to have this mobile, at least medium armored platoon to go mess around with my opponent's armor. For example, these M10s, they are very good and I could use them, but they're not so mobile, and I cannot take them up front with other Shermans, for example, or with not even with 89 with Stummels. Stummels would definitely wreck me compared to the Shermans, the regular Shermans, where they will have a hard time killing all of them. And I think, for example, you're paying 16 points for one platoon of M10s, and for example, 8 or 6 points, because they can be Greyhound Stummels and they are only 6 points, 1 point per vehicle. They are, I think, they will be able to destroy the M10s, the Stummels, only because of the fact that compared to the M10s, they have, of course, in the same range, in 24 inches, because if you just play the M10s as a professional player and not get them into close range or this kind of uh, um, misunderstanding of gameplay of these M10s, Stummels died to the wave of 50 cals though. I wouldn't take all these 50 cals to go head to head with the Stummels, actually, you know. And they have a 3-up save, the Stummels, to your 50 cals. So basically, I don't know what to say.
I think that I see Scott's point, but I would just try and get, because there's gonna be so many heavy tanks in the new meta here, and I think I would try and get instead of having the parachute platoon, even though it's very good, I would try to get some infantry from FFI, because I think that I can't remember if it's FTP or FFI. There's the good one of them.
The 4
But
plus FFI, I think.
yeah,
Or
yeah,
FTP.
FFI, yeah, and then I would definitely
Lutz
try
should
and
tell
get.
us.
Yeah, he's the FFI master.
FFI is the fearless one.
Yeah,
FTP is the reluctant but a bit more skilled.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. I want the fearless one so they can cross the table. But I would definitely try and get at least. I think if you play as a US player now, you should try and get some Firefly support. You don't need to buy your Akins if you don't want, but at least get some AT-14 that you can have sitting on the back line, firing, taking the duel with the big tanks, and then just try and harass them with all the other stuff.
I will always chatting with Scott. Let's name this list like this. I will always take Joe Atkins if I take the Sherman platoon as a allied platoon, because that Firefly having to be able to reroll all his shots, it's so super important. I mean, if you have just one tank that has AT-14, then you better put him to good work, you know.
Yeah.
All right, Scott. Thank you for this interesting list. Thank you for this idea. I think it's a good list. I think it's a list that we will see combinations of with the M10 tank destroyer company, and actually the tank destroyer company, we will see it a lot in all these upcoming tournaments, let's say. I don't think we do. We still have recons. Is this what I'm looking for? No, this is an armor rifle platoon. What is this?
Don't the M20s still have recon?
The
Like they
M20,
used
yeah,
to?
still has recon. What are these guys? Armor Rifle Company. Armored Combat Engineer Company. Why didn't I know about these guys?
They're a card.
Exactly. But quite a good card, I could say.
But you
It's a 3
can't
plus to
teach an
hit.
old dog new tricks.
Yeah, exactly. Engineer comp card. So yeah, we don't have this recon thing anymore with Fortress Europe that we used to have. I will always use this M10 tank destroyer company, as I told you guys, only because of the fact that is 1 point cheaper, let's say, and you get 1 mg Jeep with rack. I will show you guys what I thought about in using Joe Atkins, and the list that I show you guys. I will show you guys in the stream because I already showed these two this list, and it is about what was my core formation. Yeah, USIV veteran. It's a list that I would use as a defensive list, and it looks something like this. On a veteran rifle platoon with a veteran machine gun, and two 57 millimeters
Yeah, this is
platoons.
the one you sent.
Yes,
You sent earlier this week.
exactly.
Yeah, it's an interesting list. I'd like to try it.
Yes, yeah, Scott. You're really to the point, and your list is what I think it will work more into the fact that you have more annoying little things on the table than you would have with mine, and I would really like to see how it will go in tournaments. So maybe if you played that list in one of your tournaments, or even if you played at your local hobby um, game space, I don't know if you have a club or something like that. Yes.
They have a club in Northern Ireland, I think.
Yeah, but I don't know because don't know how it goes there. So send us some pictures with the game, and tell us how it's been, and were you able to kick ass with. Chemical mortars, yes, chemical mortars are also very good in this list. Tizzle, you're talking about this IV veteran list or the other one with the M10s that Scott got, or my list? You just have to be a bit more specific. So this guys is one of my defensive options go to, taking Joe Atkins, but with a full Sherman platoon, because I will always like to have more bodies to be able to kill and protect my Firefly. Yeah, with the IV. I would probably have to take one of the veteran, but I think there's already enough artillery for a defensive list. These M12s are here just to be played as we talked about.
Heavy AT.
Yeah, heavy 80, and if I'm getting to attack, they will be a good bombardment base, not being able to be pinned down. Chemical mortars I will take in a list like what Scott got us, and so a more armored oriented list where I'm sure that I will be attacking, and then I will be making good use of that of those mortars. I don't like taking mortars because they are infantry units. I keep telling everybody, and I keep telling myself, don't take infantry support um, guns, let's say, like HMGs. I'm taking HMGs here because it's the only thing that could boost up my core. But otherwise, I would also lose the machine guns, and I was looking into losing the machine guns, machine gun platoon, and take the artillery, the 10 centimeters. I think they can use as artillery for the veteran rifle company, but they are still trained, so I prefer having the IV card, so my priests become core into my rifle company, and I have a stronger core. Then I have a recon because Kristian told me, many people told me I need recon with my defensive lists, and I have also,
Always.
yes, and always take the recon with your defensive lists. And then I took, of course, this AA platoon, which is the cherry pick, but I think it ruins my reserves for that matter. But still, it's a very good addition. So it's one point per model. It's something that I don't think many people will shoot at because they'll say, okay, it's anti-aircraft, and it's an anti-aircraft with a 4+ firepower that can put up 4 shots on halted ROF and 3 on moving. So basically, you're spraying with 4+ firepower at 20 inches. That's almost as good as the Stuart, and we also talked about this on the channel. I think this platoon, it's actually, after the 76 Shermans, it's actually my second favorite platoon. I don't know if it will be a good thing for a competitive tournament or for a competitive gameplay, but I think this platoon could make things work and can give you some protection against aircraft as well, because I think people will bring to the table a lot of aircraft, a lot of Typhoons, and probably Stukas, not Stukas, the Sturmoviks, yeah, when we'll have the Bagration book for the Russians. And I think having some 4+ firepower dedicated AA, that's very good. And also they have a 50 cal with a moving ROF of 3. So basically it's something better than all the other 50 cals. It's the most 50 cal amount of shots you can get from one model.
Yeah.
So,
and it can also like obliterate a Stummel platoon, or let's say a carrier platoon, or a half-track platoon, or whatever. It's a can opener of all the small annoying vehicles.
Exactly. So basically, it's a very, very good option. It's only 4 points, so it's the only cheap good thing that the US player can bring to the game. It's a hit on 3+, which is not that great, but I really think they will be doing a good job on the table. I will be playing this list as soon as I'll be able to play a game. So I will tell you guys if they were any good or not.
And if you think, again, as I always like to do, math,
Yes.
and you think this is a unit worth 4 points, it will definitely, during a game, earn its own points worth of killings.
Yeah, that's true.
So if you kill 4 points worth, let's say 10 points worth of Stummels, it's earned its stay in the army.
Exactly. I don't think you will be able to kill a full platoon of Stummels, but still, it's a good chance you would at least get 2 of them.
And, and then in combination with other stuff,
And in combination with other stuff, it's a good thing. It's a powerful thing to have. Don't forget that you can actually kill Panzer IIIs with this, because it's a 3+, and if you get any side shots, yeah, you don't care that much about those Panzer IVs. And they are very useful against carriers, against those type of lists we've talked about, reckon lists, and they could put to shame some really nice lists. You can't mix cards from two books, can you? You can mix cards from two books when you take them for example, this is Sherman Armored Allied Platoon, and you are allowed to take Allied card from the same book with the platoon for it, and then have cards for your core units taken from this list. Or isn't it so?
Yes.
So this was my impression, and my Kristian and Ludde said it would have been okay. It was my question also, guys. Can I take this? You think I'll be able to take Joe Atkins for this list if I'm taking the 4th Infantry Division Ivy? I must thank Daniel or Danila, our good friend from Russia, who's also become a new father. So he has his second boy born.
He's become a dad.
Yeah, the second time. So congratulations to him. If he will see this
one
video.
more reason to have some drinks in Moscow.
Exactly. And he was actually the one who opened my eyes and said, hey, you can use 4th Infantry Division Ivy with the Veteran Rifle Company also. I was using them only with the regular ones. So only if you can take it for that unit. Makes sense, actually. Yeah, exactly.
But
yes.
See, it's a working night, so I think we should.
Yes,
close.
definitely. We will be closing this because it's a working night. I see you guys are working very hard on your painting. And I don't want you guys to be too tired for tomorrow when you go to work. Basically, what will happen this weekend with you guys?
Taking it easy. Hopefully a bit of painting. Yeah, just relaxing. To be honest, it's been a hell of a 2 weeks at work, and hopefully it'll calm down after tomorrow. And Friday is actually a national holiday already in Finland. That's actually part reason to the stress.
Nice.
I had completely forgotten that Friday was a national holiday, and I had counted that we had 2 people working on a project, me included, and I kind of lost those two people, like 2 man days of work, so it kind of had to be squeezed in a bit earlier as well. So
good. Any Kristian? You plan playing any games, or you'll be painting your army?
The thing is, I just finished my internship at the hospital now. So I finished at the psychiatric ward today.
Yes.
So now I have to write an exam paper about that, and it has to be delivered next Friday. Not this week, but next Friday.
So
on the 26th. So I have to do that, and then meanwhile also paint my army. So I will finish my Shermans and Crocs to the standard that I normally do and I want, and then I'll just have to coat and color modulate, paint the tracks and the wheels on the
carriers.
The carriers, yeah, and then that's it. So that they're playable, and then all the pin washing and weathering and all that stuff can come later. But then they are playable at a tournament. So
good.
That's the plan.
Looking forward to your crocodiles and Shermans then. And
I'll post them on.
I will try to see if I can copy some of that on my list. I'm still building my carriers. Actually, did you manage to build all your carriers?
Yeah, I've assembled them. Oh. The only thing is that I had to go into my bit box to find all the 50 cals that I needed.
You've put 50 cals on everybody.
Yeah.
Right, that's a good idea. And no Piats?
No Piats. I have enough AT, so I'm gonna go the Daga way. See how that works.
Okay, okay, guys. Okay, gentlemen. Thank you so much for staying with me, and thank you, chat, for being with us. Thank you, Scott, for participating, Diesel, and Sauron, and everybody else who commented and who watched the stream.
Scott, Patrick,
Yeah. So basically,
and all the ones that look at this afterwards and just shake their heads and go like, "What are these guys doing?"
exactly. So 1 hour and a half. We're stopping right now. We're getting back on next Wednesday, probably around 9 o'clock, same hour. And also, I will try to keep you up to date, guys, with things that I'll be doing, and hope we'll be able to put. Some new interesting lists to talk about for the next stream.
And some
So
pictures and painting and tactics and all the
exactly,
usual business.
exactly. I think I will be chatting with you guys and tell you some of my ideas right after we stop this. So thank you guys once again, and see you guys next time.